My brother stand in front of 30 people and told them I hadn't paid for a single thing of my parents' anniversary dinner. I had paid for all of it. So I left the party and from the parking lot. I made one phone call that changed the rest of the night. This is that story from the beginning. 3 weeks ago, I was standing at the edge of a private dining room in New England, watching my little brother raise a whiskey glass and tell 30 people I hadn't paid for a single bite of my parents' anniversary dinner. My aunt clapped once and said to let the real family enjoy it. My mother studied her plate. My father studied his glass. I set down my napkin, picked up my coat, and walked out without a word. 60 minutes later, the manager of that restaurant walked back through the room doors carrying a leather bill folio, and the entire table stopped breathing. Before I tell you what was inside that folio, drop a comment telling me where you're watching from and what time it is. I want to know you're here. Let me take you back to a Thursday afternoon, 4 weeks before the party starts. My office. 4:17 p.m. The caller ID said, Mom, Brina, hi honey. It's about your father character and my anniversary, the 35th. Mason said he'd plan it. But he's just, honey, you know how busy he is. I knew exactly how busy my brother was. He had one job, 5 hours away, and a talent for dropping things on my desk while calling it a favor. Me, Mom, say what you need. Mom, could you look into a restaurant somewhere nice? Don't worry about the money. You and Mason can split it. I didn't correct her. I got home that evening, and my husband Adam was at the stove, knife in hand, calm the way he always was. I told him Mason had dropped the party on me again. Adam, do you want me to come with you? Me, you were coming anyway. Adam, I'll sit in the car if you need me to. I got home that evening, and my husband Adam was at the stove, knife in hand, calm the way he always was. I told him Mason had dropped the party on me again. Adam, do you want me to come with you? Me, you were coming 8th. That was Adam. 10 years of marriage, the quietest alliance in my life. Mason called Friday night. His voice had the false brightness of a man opening a negotiation. Mason, budget-wise, I'll handle it, 50-50. Just put my name on the invoice, you know. So people see the bill, hosted by you and me. Not a contribution, a credit claim. I sat on the edge of the tub and thought about how long I had been letting him build a fiction around me. I had 15 years of training in this. I wasn't going to write the script this time. Way. Adam, I'll sit in the car if you need me to. I want to tell you why I decided to pay the whole dinner myself. Last July, my mother had her gallbladder out. The bill was not fine. My father's contracting business had slowed through the spring, the kind of flow where you don't tell your wife every week. You just keep the books in a different folder. I knew because I did their taxes every April. The numbers told stories my father would never say out loud. So I knew what would happen if I quoted the real price of a 35-person anniversary dinner to my mother. She would say no. She would insist on the host. My father would agree with relief he wouldn't admit to. And Mason. Mason would insist on going in, and then quietly fail to send anything. And somehow my parents would find the difference themselves, and my mother would wear that small tight smile she wore when she was paying for her own presents. I didn't want that. I had gotten a real bonus in September. A promotion to senior advisor. My name finally on the firm's door. Enough to cover the whole dinner and not feel it. So I decided to handle it quietly. I told my mother it was a fixed package from the restaurant, already discounted. Don't ask. This wasn't a statement. It wasn't a trap. I wasn't laying a chessboard. I just wanted my mother to pick up a fork at her 35th anniversary dinner and not count. The Ember house sat at the edge of a 2-lane road in Farmington, an old barn converted into something architectural I just had written up twice. The manager's name was Camila Ortiz, dark blazer, steady eyes, a handshake that meant business. Camila, any allergies? Any difficult guests? Me. Short laugh defined difficult. Camila, anyone I should know about? I told her the truth. Me. My brother will try to take credit. He might even try to pay a piece, just so he can say he did. Don't let him. Camila. Understood. I signed the contract. My name. Brina Lockwood. Host. She handed me her business card with her cell number written in the corner. Camila, any changes, call me directly. Not the front desk. Me, that card would turn out to be the most important piece of paper I owned that day. Saturday evening, guests arrived between 6:40 and 6-50-5. Mason and Tiffany came in at 6:50. Mason stopped in the doorway and let out a slow whistle, loud enough for the first 10 guests too. Turn. Mason. Wow, Tiff. Look at this. I told you I'd pick somewhere great. To cousin smiled approvingly at him. I was 10 feet away at the welcome table, signing the memory book. I did not look up. Adam's hand pressed once at my back, one small, firm squeeze. My parents arrived at 7. My mother wore a dress I had never seen. That my mother wore this dress. My father wore his charcoal suit, the one he got married in, altered 3 times. They walked in holding hands the way they only did in photographs. My mother held me and whispered into my shoulder, Mom, this is too much. Thank you. And thank Mason, too. I stayed still. I said, I love you, Mom. At 7:27, Mason stood and tapped his champagne glass. Mason, Tiff and I wanted to do something special. So we picked this place. We set the menu. We worked with the chef because our mom and our dad, they deserve the best. To Mom and Dad. To family. 30 glasses rose. My mother dabbed her eyes. My father cleared his throat twice. I did not drink. Then Antony stood up. She looked straight at me for half a second. Antony's real family isn't the people who send cards. Real family is the people who show up year after year, who don't move away. To the ones who stayed, pause here, let it land. My mother did not look at me. My father did not look at me. I still had 45 minutes to be polite. I made it 38. At 8:10, Mason stood again. Whiskey number 3. His tie was already loose. He looked right at me. Mason, hey, sis, try not to eat too much up here. You didn't pay for any of this. The room went still. Nothing moved. Antony's clapped once and said, Antony's, let the real family enjoy it. Silence. I counted for seconds by the clock on the back wall. My mother was looking at her dessert plate. My father was looking at his wine glass. Not one of them looked up. For 38 years, I had believed that if the day ever came, the really public day, one of them would stand up. Not one of them stood up. That was the moment I became a different person. I just hadn't started moving yet. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't answer Mason. I didn't answer Denise. I turned and walked to our table. Me, baby, grab your coat, sweetheart. I looked at Adam. Me, take Mia to the car. I'll meet you outside in 3 minutes. I folded my napkin. I set it on my plate. I picked up Mia's drawing, the one she had made for her grandmother, the one her grandmother had not stopped to look at. I picked up my wallet. I took out Camilla's business card. I turned and faced the room. 31 faces. Everyone frozen in the exact position that line had caught them in. Me, enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone. That was all I said. I walked the length of the oak room at a normal pace. Past the dessert cart. Past the fireplace. Past my father, who did not lift his eyes. The October air hit me like cold water. I let it. Walking out was not my revenge. Walking out was the truth. Adam had me buckled in by the time I reached the car. He didn't ask me anything. He opened my door and got in the driver's seat. I pulled out my phone. I pulled out Camilla's card. I dialed Camilla. Miss Lockwood. Me, Camilla, I need to withdraw my authorization. Full balance. Keep the deposit for your trouble. The remaining bills should be presented at the table. To the gentleman beside my father. His name is Mason Calloway. Camila. Understood. Gratuity me add 20%. He can afford to tip. I set the phone in my lap. Adam turned the key. We pulled out of the gravel lot at 8-14. In the back seat. Mia hummed a cartoon theme. She didn't know anything was wrong. That was a kind of mercy. I learned something that night I couldn't have learned any other way. Family is not a birthright. It is a table. You build your own table. You decide who sits at it and what kind of voice gets used. And sometimes the kindest thing you can do for your own parents is refuse to let them teach your children that silence in the face of cruelty is what grown-ups do. There is a Thanksgiving at the end of this story. A small one. Just the four of us. Rosalie's china on the table. My parents choosing me quietly, the only way they knew how. I will tell you that story next week. For now, tell me one word in the comments. Stayed if you are still in your family with new lines drawn. Left if you had to step all the way out. There is no wrong answer.